So my name is Bonin Bough, and I am the Chief Media and E-commerce Officer for Mondelez International. Mondelez is the largest snack food company in the world. We own some of the world's most beloved brands, Oreo, Wheat Thins, Triscuit, Cadbury, so on and so forth, you name it. What I think is interesting is that a little over 3 years ago, our CMO, Dana Anderson, but she challenged the organization to become fearless. And that challenge has changed the trajectory of how we operate as an organization moving forward. And I believe it is those brands that take those brave moments to seize a changing consumer that transform the way organizations operate and ultimately drive growth. And I'm going to take you on a little story of how that's happened in the past and where that could happen in the future. So let's start. If you were a marketing executive in the 1950s and I came into your office and I told you, I really want you to buy this thing called television, you would laugh me out of your office and you would tell me, this thing called radio works really well, I don't need your stinking television. But then three bold brands, P&G, Unilever, and Kraft, saw a moment where consumer consumption began to eclipse where investment was going. And they jumped in early, and as a result, they built competitive advantage that transformed their organizations for the next 50, 60, 70 years. And I would argue that those moments are in front of us today every single time, but yet organizations have still not seized on them. So here's a great example. 23% of media is consumed on a mobile device, but less than 1% of spending, which means that the boardrooms of most organizations look something like this. There's a guy in the front, usually the CEO, who says, you know what, I think we need a mobile strategy. And then finally, somebody looks up from their device, very distracted, and says, I'm sorry, but did you say something? But it's not just an example of boardrooms, it's an example of society at large. Interestingly, we have become the most distracted society in human history. But the amazing thing about humans is we'll never admit it. So we'll say, no, keep talking while I'm texting. I keep talking because I am doing something I call multitasking. But they're lying to you. In reality, there was a study that was done by the American Psychiatric Association. What they did was they took two groups, and they asked one to use mobile phones and multitask, and they asked the other to smoke marijuana. There was a 10-point drop in those that use mobile phones, which was in their IQ, which was twice as much as those that smoke marijuana. So the point here is you're better off being a pothead than pretending that you can multitask. But even in the wake of these amazing and dizzying facts, I still get the same question from senior leaders. Is mobile at scale? So I said, okay, let's do a little math. There are 7 billion people on Earth, 5.1 billion own a cell phone, but only 4.2 billion own a toothbrush. Which means two things. One, there's room in the toothbrush market, clearly. But two, it means there's 1 billion people who didn't get the text message on the importance of hygiene. Let me just tell you that. So I love this slide. It says, honk if you love Jesus, text while driving if you want to meet him. The point is that even our religious institutions understand the importance of mobility, but yet staring in the face, organizations have failed to change. How many people in here have ever felt their phone vibrating, but when they reached in their pocket to feel it, it actually wasn't? Raise your hand. It's everybody. Come on, some of you guys are lying, I know. It's not just you, it's actually a disease, and it's called phantom vibration syndrome, and they say that people who have this experience a tactile hallucination that's very similar and vaguely common with what meth addicts experience. So it's literally a drug. Other studies actually show that using your mobile device is as addictive as cocaine. So there's people in dark alleys saying, I just need a text message, just give me 140 characters, I'm dying over here, I'm fiending for a status update, that's all I need. And while we're strung out on technology, we have this man to blame. This gray-haired gentleman, Martin Cooper, invented the mobile phone in the 80s. What's interesting is what he thought he was inventing was a device for us to communicate voice wirelessly. But in reality, what he was inventing was a world of connected devices that would transform society, fortunes, and businesses at large. Bain did a study, and he said that by 2020, every single consumer packaged good that's sold in a supermarket will be connected to the internet, which means at the scale that we operate, we might become some of the world's largest technology companies. And what scares me every day is that we don't look like a large technology company. We don't look like Cisco. We're not hip like Facebook. We don't move at the pace of Google. We're not Snapchat. So how do we organize ourselves, identify the right talent, build the right culture, so that we can take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of us? But just like what Dana Anderson said, and I want you to remember this word moment, at that moment when she challenged the organization to be fearless, this also represents a moment. This moment changed the way that we engage, changed the way that we communicate, and for this audience, most important, changed the way that we buy. Changing commerce forever. That moment would not have happened if it wasn't for this moment. Alexander Graham Bell making the first telephone call. Innovation continues to stand on the shoulders of giants. This moment, where Henry Ford created the first car, allowed for this moment to happen. Uber, arguably the most disruptive organization right now on the planet, but still stood on the innovation that was built by giants before him. Airbnb, we can name it, number of companies that are disrupting. Who could forget this moment? This single moment was a moment of discovery, was a moment of exploration, was a moment that allowed an entire world to believe that dreams were possible again. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I give you our Moonshot. Oreo Colorfilled. Oreo Colorfilled. And while today it's about, and this is a dream that Cindy's going to talk about that started, and while today it's about customizing the packaging, we began a journey 9 months ago. A small team led by Cindy Chen that dared to dream that they could build the transformational e-commerce business that we're in the process of building. 2 months ago, we announced our vision to get to $1 billion by 2020, and this is our flag on the moon, which says this is the beginning of us transforming the way that we deliver experiences to consumers. Today, you can customize the pack. Tomorrow, you'll be able to customize flavors, embossments, assortment, delivering the type of experiences that are required for a new generation of consumers, but done on the back of a brand that has been in your life for more than a century. And we have a track record of doing that. We have a track record of delivering a collision between where wonder meets disruption, and truly showing that a 100-year-old brand can be a disruptor, just like a 10-year-old business like Facebook. Our track record started with a dream that Cindy Chen had. Cindy said, Bonin, I want Oreo not to just be an icon, but I want it to be iconic. And this was that first post, which allowed a cookie, a simple cookie, to have a point of view on something so important in culture. One of the largest liked posts in the history of Facebook. Zuckerberg sent Cindy a note, sent her a note saying, thank you, you inspired our entire organization. We told you that we would reinvent mobile. We become the #1 mobile marketer in the world, and then a year after we did that, we did become the #1 mobile marketer in the world. We told you that we would reinvent real-time marketing, and we did reinvent real-time marketing, and we won the Super Bowl with a tweet. We also gave a 100-year-old brand a new right to life, and I'm going to show that campaign that started with our amazing friends at Martin that transformed the way we look at the brand Oreo and unlocked a wonderful opportunity for us.
Wonder if I gave an Oreo to the big bad wolf, how would the story go? Would he still go huff and puff, or would he bring those pigs cool stuff to decorate the deck he helped them build? Would they not get killed? Wonder if I gave an Oreo to a vampire in a creepy show. Would he not act so undead? Would he thirst for milk instead? I've just got this feeling that it might work out alright. 'Cause cream does wondrous things inside a chocolate sandwich dream. If I gave them to great white sharks, would they share them with baby seals? Would they call up a giant squid for a friendly meal? Wonder if I gave an Oreo. Wonder if I gave an Oreo. What if I gave an Oreo to you?
Let's give a round of applause for the Martin Agency work. I mean, this is a brand that, if you remember, it was Oreo, and we changed that brand and we made it relevant for a new consumer. It could now scale beyond just 6 to 12-year-olds or parents with 6 to 12-year-olds, but to a world that could appreciate wonder in a new way. What's interesting is that a little over a year ago, we embarked on a little tiny experiment. We created, with the Maya company, who you'll meet, the first ever 3D printer Oreo that actually printed Oreos based on what was trending on Twitter. So if we started this journey by allowing a cookie to have a point of view on culture, we wanted you to be able to taste culture through a cookie. So you could literally, we called it eat the tweet. You could literally eat the tweet and taste what culture of that moment tasted like. But more importantly, it sparked, people waited in line for 2.5 hours to get one cookie. We learned at that moment that custom was going to be a huge platform for this brand. And that began us on the journey to build Colorfilled that we brought to you today. What's interesting is that in order to make this happen, organizations have to find the most amazing talent possible, both inside and outside of their organization, but they also have to create the culture that allows for those talents to dream bigger than they even thought that they could dream. Now, to date, we assume that that is only done by technology companies, and we talk about those technology companies as being able to find unicorns. But at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, I would argue that we are going to begin to build dragons, the fastest growing billion-dollar businesses and the biggest ideas on the planet. Because we are a company of scale, we are a company with infrastructure, we're a company with funding, but most important, we have some of the world's most beloved brands. But just like Game of Thrones, everybody needs a Khaleesi. And so I'm going to introduce you to Lauren Fleischer, who is our Khaleesi, who made all this possible. Lauren, can you come up? And she's going to give you a quick demo of Colorfilled. Thank you. Let's give her another round of applause. She did this.
Thanks, Bonin. So just want to show you guys the product. And we'll certainly share the agency partners and how we got here, but what is Colorfilled? So we've really looked at it as creating a seamless user experience to drive customization at mass. And what does that look like for a consumer? So on Monday of this week, we launched shop.oreo.com. Might have been in the middle of the night, but we got it out there. So what we've created for consumers is a really seamless site, both on desktop, on mobile, across any device. So if you'd like to place an order right now, you can run through the process with me, where you essentially pick a piece of artwork. And we're leveraging templates. The idea of two prominent artists have created a template for which a consumer can build any number of designs. So we have two pieces of art, one from Timothy Goodman and one from Jeremyville. But these two pieces of art can create infinite options for consumers. We started production this week, and we have yet to make 2 packs that are completely the same. Every single pack is unique. You then can color it in as you please, but you can also zoom it in, scale it, change it. We have some options in the room, and I think that is really where it shows differentiation. If you choose to focus on this bottom right portion of the art versus the top left, your whole pack can be a Hanukkah pack, or it can be a Christmas pack. It can really be whatever you make it. Next, we've added accessories, both in the artist's flair, as well as just really embracing that kind of Oreo iconic cookie as a character. Hats, scarves, mittens, you name it, as well as really words that embrace the season: joy, love, etc. What's also great here that drives that extra level of customization is the number of, or the ability to write a message. And in the past few days, I've seen some really unbelievable things, both very touching messages, very funny messages, or I'd like to order 50 that say happy holidays from your favorite tire company, Tireland. Yes, shout out to Tireland, that helped us hit our revenue target. We've also gone as far as adapting this artwork. So what's unique is that we've created a mailer. There's one somewhere around the room. In 24 hours, we created this box. As a multi-billion-dollar company, we have never shipped one good to one consumer. So the idea of creating this box, although just a box, is really revolutionary in terms of the way we operate. Similarly, we allow customization on t-shirts with a set of markers to allow people to do it in a more tactile way, and packages that can be colored in, which based on that adult coloring book trend, has just become addicting. I think I watched Cindy color her package for 2 hours. So that's the site. I think we're all really excited about it, but more we're excited to talk about the work and the way we got there, as well as the team. So, throughout the day, feel free to check out shop.oreo.com. We'll be making packages all the way through Christmas. So thanks.